Wife said, "What's this lump under the bed?" And lift up the mattress, and there's more bourbon under there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
It's not a revolver. It's just barrel proof. Hello and welcome everyone to episode 34 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you're going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Michael, Anthony, and Steven. Hey ladies.
Oh, man, the burn there. So you know how we did like a couple weeks ago, we did the Kirkland's bourbon, you know, and we talked about how big the bottle was.
Yeah, it's the liter bottle.
The liter, like liter wine bottle type, you know, thing is pretty big.
Oh, you're talking about the classy wines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the ones in a box.
Cabernet.
No, the liter or the 175 bottle wines.
Yeah.
The handle wine those are the nice French ones.
Oh, yeah. Those are definitely
Anyway,
French.
go on.
Probably from Paris, Kentucky.
I remember the discussion, yeah.
Now I've got that bottle, and I'm like, what do I do with this thing, right? Because it's too tall to fit on a shelf. And, you know, sometimes the ones like that I'm really drinking on, I'll put up on the top of the refrigerator, you know, but at the same time, that's a little scary putting that big thing on top of the refrigerator because
you're worried it's gonna fall off.
Yeah,
or something,
refrigerator gets shakes and all that kind of stuff, and then there's just like nowhere to really put that thing. So that's kind of been my challenge with some of my bourbon. Like, where do I store those things? Like I look around here at Steven's. I mean, Steven has like unlimited storage.
He does. He's got this basement where he's got all kind of shelves and
and
everything.
Cabinets. He's got we always call it the commune here anyway, like the compound. He's got plenty of places to store.
If I ever got kicked out of my house, I'd come live here.
Oh, easily. Absolutely easily.
It's better than a residence inn.
There you go.
If I got kicked out, it'd probably be my fault.
Yeah.
My wife would tell his wife, and I wouldn't be invited here. Because his wife would be like, no, we can't come here. So I would have nowhere to go.
Oh, no. I would pick it because if he'd have me, because it's close within walking distance of my house, then I can kind of be like, waving from the street level.
I have nowhere to store. We don't have a whole lot of storage space in our house. So, I've had to resort to the garage for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Cabinets in the garage and shelves in the garage. But it's hard, man. It's hard.
So the bourbon storage is becoming a problem, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I've run into the same thing. So my wife, a while back, bought like this nice piece of IKEA furniture. It was a couple $100. She said, this is going to be a sideboard for kitchen items and things of that nature. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I built that thing. Then I've completely filled it with bourbon.
Is that the thing that's in your... everything's stored
in the
on?
living room, yep.
Yeah.
So I put the top, I used those shelves to store like the tiered shelves and everything. And so I took that over and I quickly outgrew it. And now I have bourbon upstairs in my closet and also out in the garage and anywhere I can pretty much put it. So she's not happy. Let's put it that way. She's not happy with what I've done, but you got to do what you got to do, right? I mean,
especially when you have like multiple bottles of things, like it's easy to store one of everything that you can kind of display, but when you've got multiple bottles, it becomes hard. Steven takes his and puts them down in the bottom cabinet here.
Yeah, I mean, I've got them top cabinet, bottom cabinet, counter.
Yeah, and we talked about.
But it's been kind of just down here. I haven't resorted in other places.
Well, that's because you got so much damn storage. You're going to start bringing that stuff
space. That's the problem.
We're going to start storing things at your house. Can we buy space here?
Yes, we can rent it.
I don't see how that cabinet that you have, man, in your living room with two little kids running around. Like how is a ball not?
Yeah, that makes me nervous.
How is a ball not like gone up there and knocked one of those things off, or kid rode their bicycle into it or something?
There have been times where a ball has gotten loose and ran into stuff up there, and so I am trying to reevaluate life because if that knocks one of the really expensive bottles off there, then I'd be in some trouble. So I appreciate you guys saying that. Now maybe I can lobby for higher shelving or something else that my wife's probably gonna hate. I
can see Anthony with that ball coming through the living room in a slow mo, and like throw his body in front of it, like Secret Service says with the president to take the bullet.
Yes. You know what's funny? When you mentioned that, actually that did happen one time where I was close by. I was sitting on the couch. My son kicked the ball. It hit a bottle on the corner. I think it was a Willet. It was like a 6-year Willet. It fell off the shelf, and I did catch it before it hit the ground. But if it would have hit the ground, it would have been on the carpet, so I'm hoping that it wouldn't have broken, but because it's not that high. But you never know. that's just a crapshoot. It could have easily broken, but so far, knock on wood. If that's a knock on wood, then
there's no wood there.
There's no wood.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
So I think the easiest bottles, and I'm not trying to allude to what we're doing tonight, but are these Elijah Craig bottles because they're kind of flat.
They're flat on two
you know,
sides.
so you can kind of like store them like books. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can turn them sideways, like Woodford's like that too. You know, you can kind of turn it sideways. You know, and
What's
that-
the worst bottle to store? That's a good thing.
Pot still.
Rock Hill Farm? Well, Pot still probably, but
Pot still birthday bourbon, but Rock Hill Farm.
I
Yeah.
think
1792.
1792 is not
Oh
particularly
yeah,
good for storage either.
that's kind of hard too because it's not flat enough.
Yes,
It's kind of round and wide. You know, that's probably good. That's a good.
that's true. It's funny. All the wine bottle style ones are actually not that bad to store.
They're
but
not bad if you have a tall enough
exactly
cabinet.
Yeah.
I mean, the blends takes a lot of space.
That's true too.
I mean, it's not big, but it's got girth.
yeah, yeah, I agree with that. The Old Crow should be easy to store.
should
It
be.
goes in the recycling, right?
It does, yes. Especially if I had bought that plastic bottle that I almost bought. I could have saved $1 at the store when I bought that and gotten the plastic version.
But
What's
you're too high class for that, though.
No, I mean we were doing under $10, not under $8. So
Oh, so I have a update on something that was spoken of.
Oh.
I'm going to say 3 months ago. So we went to football game this past week.
Okay.
We made a comment about the Fireball being sold in little plastic containers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's plenty of Fireball being shot at the game,
like we're talking like every other person.
oh yeah, just
just wherever.
people pounding those,
Yeah.
bringing those things into the game. You know, I actually saw one today when I went to the Legends game and saw one, you know, like an empty one sitting, you know, in the bathroom, you know, on the sink or whatever.
I was gonna say if you go to any parking lot, like grocery store parking lot, that's part of a plaza where there's restaurants and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
on a Saturday morning, you just see them all over the parking lot, like littered everywhere. I feel like they should charge Buffalo Trace to come out and clean up parking lots. Don't you think?
And it's crazy because like I went with a buddy to buy some Fireball for the tailgating this weekend. You know, just buying a fifth or a 175 of Fireball is like 10 times cheaper than buying those little bottles. You know, buying like a 12 pack of those little bottles.
Yeah.
You know, but nobody wants to buy a big bottle of Fireball. You know,
Yeah.
they all
What are
want
you-
those.
what are you
little-
gonna do with it all?
Yeah, I know.
Wait, did I just hear you correctly that you guys were buying the Fireball for the tailgate? Were
Yeah,
you
it's
involved
for
in
the
that, or-
wives. Yeah.
Oh God! I mean, come on.
This tailgate game that they play, I mean, it's one of the selected items on there.
I
Okay.
believe it showed up on our Instagram feed too.
On the story, yes,
Yeah.
it was on the story.
What was that again? It was like Plinko,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called Drinko.
Drinko. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. Even
Drop
though
a
I haven't
CD
played it.
down. You could either
And what is the CD?
Tone Loc.
Tone Loc, and it falls in one of 5 slots, and whatever falls in, there's a printout of what you do.
Okay.
So
Hey, listen, I might trash Fireball and say bad things about it, but at the end of the day, it brings a lot of people enjoyment. So I can't say, you know.
This year we threw in 99 bananas. You ever had a 99 bananas?
I have. I've actually shot the bottom shelf liquor back in my day, you know, like the Goldschlager and the Ice 101 and other things that now make me cringe to think that I drank them.
I was like, what was
It's
what
good.
was the moonshine that he had?
That was blue raspberry.
I love that stuff.
Oh,
Curacao, and you know, there's
Okay.
I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff in it.
well, guys, for this week we have a nice selection on our hands. It's a bottle of Elijah Craig small batch barrel proof.
All right, this bottle's coming to us from the Heaven Hill Distillery, and the one we're drinking on tonight is the B519, so the May 2019 bottling of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. The ABV is 61.1% alcohol, so 122.2 proof. The age is 12 years. The mash bill is 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley, and this comes in an MSRP of $65.
I know we've looked at the Elijah Craig small batch bottles before, but they've got one of the best corks and toppers of any bottle that we've ever seen. Right?
Agree,
The big,
agree.
big heavy wood.
Yeah, I agree.
Plug on top there. Now I don't like the lip. We've talked about the lip. Makes it a little hard to pour. But I got to tell you, I'm impressed by the 12 years on there. That's a pretty old bourbon right there. You know, for something that's $65.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you remember back when we did the small batch, I talked about the fact that they took the age statement off the small batch, the regular, but they left it on the barrel proof, which is
And
amazing.
it's also non-chill filtered. People go nuts over that stuff too.
There you go.
I don't really care
Checks
that
the
much.
box, remember?
Yeah,
Checks
that's
the
right.
box.
Checks all the
Yeah.
boxes. It was whiskey of the year. I feel like everything's a whiskey of the year, though.
It depends on what spirits competition.
I mean, that's what I'm
enter,
saying. It's
yeah.
like the cheerleading competitions. I work in high school sports for several years. There's a million cheerleading competitions, and everybody's always a champion, right? Like
as long as you entered one.
Our
and
school
you-
would enter 3 teams, and our third JV team would end up being a world champion somehow. So that's kind of how the whiskey of the year thing is. I think you win some kind of award for something. Everybody's got a competition. How long can you keep this neck tag on here that says your whiskey of the year? Because I don't think they've won it in like 3 or 4 years.
I would
But
say until it falls off.
until it falls off, I guess.
Till that rubber, plastic, whatever it is, dry rots.
Now, to give them a little credit, this is a 2019 bottle, so this was a little more recent that they, when I bought this, that they won whiskey of the year. I don't think they won the last couple of years, but
Yeah, I don't think so, but they probably highly rated. What does it say on there? Does it say 2019 whiskey of the year or 18 or what?
There's a copyright of 2018. But
Gotcha.
I don't see a specific like whiskey of the year.
gotcha.
2019 winner, gold medalist.
But I mean, really, the one thing I will say though, and I mean, Michael, you're the bottle expert, is I kind of feel like they sell themselves short a little bit by the fact that really the only difference between this and the small batch bottling is the side label, the little neck tag that says barrel proof, and then now recently they changed the bottom label to say like barrel proof before.
oh yeah, now they've kind of
Now it says in the middle where it says small batch, it says barrel
yeah,
proof.
now they've
instead.
just thrown because
Yeah.
they've got 3 or 4 different kinds of things now.
Yeah.
They've got the
Rye,
toasted,
toasted.
the rye, the barrel proof, small batch. Yeah, so they just put that all in there now. But
I mean, it's the same thing that Woodford does.
It is, but I was going to say with Heaven Hill, their barrel game, their bottle game is a little bit weak.
Or,
when it
for
comes
some part,
differentiating.
what,
Well, I
Weller,
think-
what Weller does is the same thing. Same
I guess
bottle,
it
it's
is,
just
yeah.
different color label.
That's true. Yeah.
1792.
Yeah, they do the same thing, right? Okay, yeah. Hey, point proven. Just stop it. Just stop it.
So now though right now they're starting to do the barrel picks of these things.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a
So
very
maybe
new
that's why they
recent
did
development.
that, because now you can put the name of the the store that did
Mashup,
pick.
the mashup pick.
Yeah, the mashup pick
Yeah.
coming
Oh, maybe.
soon. Coming
Yeah,
soon.
That'd be great.
But 1789's on there. It's a big year. 1789 was a big year in our country.
What it was, yes.
Our Constitution was written, and it was when Elijah Craig's small batch came out. I think. Don't look that up.
And he was born the same year.
Yes.
Elijah
He
Craig
was
was
born
born
the same year.
So really, 1777 was a big year because that's 12 years before the 1789.
That's
So,
when he was conceived.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys.
We have a 230-year-old bottle here tonight. On the hands.
amazing.
Special evening.
They always say the date of the bottles right on the front of these Elijah Craig, and there it is, 1789.
You
right on the
mean to
front.
tell me all these years I thought that it was actually, set down to age at that year, and it's really not?
That's man. They sold me on it. They told me at the store this was a 200-something-year-old
200
bottle.
something.
I was like, yeah, you're full of it.
I was like, man, for $65, what a good deal.
It's the oldest bottle of bourbon in the history of mankind, and you can buy it right here at Kroger or Liquor Barn or wherever.
Absolutely. What a deal.
Speaking of, what is the oldest scotch? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know. Those are like 50 years or something.
Is that the oldest?
You ever see those ones like at Costco?
I was gonna say, yeah.
They do those ones at Costco. They're like
No. I'm not saying
$8,000 or $10,000.
bottled. How long has it been going on?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no.
Distilling scotch.
I think that's might predate bourbon, may not.
Oh, I figured it did. I was just wondering.
Yeah, but someone's probably going to come back and nail me on that and be like, well, you don't know what so-and-so was doing. You don't know what Elijah Craig's, grandfather was doing.
Well, there's history shows the Indians, the Native Americans were doing it way before.
And that's right. That's
you know,
right. They were,
when they were
Well,
when
if
they were
someone-
bartering with the Pilgrims, and
that's right.
Well, if someone knows, leave a note in the comment section.
there we go. Elijah Craig, if you're listening, let us know.
Yeah, no doubt.
So should we go for our first notes of this barrel proof?
Sure thing.
I just want to note real quick. This is a 122 proof. I don't know if you said that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I opened this the first time, Stephen and I had a choice between this one or a much higher proof one. We chose the lower proof at that time, which 122 is pretty low for a.
What is the other one?
I think it's like 131 or 132,
Okay.
something like that. So
Well, these go like I think once they cross 140, if they ever do, they haven't recently, but I think they call those like the hazmat versions of this.
yeah, I don't think they've done that in a while.
It's been a long time. I mean, probably the old bottling style when they've done something like that, but it's worth noting.
Is that when they have to keep them on a low shelf in the store?
I'm not.
I know because when I buy Everclear every once in a while,
Yeah.
and they have to keep it by law on the bottom shelf.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's the case. I just know that.
Okay,
like,
when you said that, I didn't know if that was what it was called.
They had bottled some stuff at I think 140 or 142 might be the highest on this. Don't all of you out there don't nail me on that if I don't know my Elijah Craig barrel proof as well as I
They
should.
keep them next to the lighters.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But there's a couple of those, and I know that the same thing with Stag and Stag Junior and stuff like that. When they're bottling some of those at a higher proof, so they get referred to in the secondary market as hazmat. So
Okay. As someone that loves to nose their Glencairn to death, this is up there with something to enjoy for a while.
I agree. It's definitely got the pleasing classic bourbon smells, vanilla, caramel. You can get like some leather, maybe a little bit of tobacco.
Yeah, a little peanut/peanut butter.
Oh, the peanut and peanut butter. Like,
Yeah, marshmallow, butterscotch.
don't get me started. I told you guys a while back, like I spammed one of those Heaven Hill ads on Facebook and kept saying, "Where do you guys add the peanuts into the bourbon?"
Now, instead of peanuts, do you think it's like a peanut brittle?
Yeah, probably that with the peanut
I feel
brittle,
like
so
it's a
like
little-
butterscotch
yeah,
caramel.
yeah.
I'm a little too hard on it. Obviously, I know they're not adding peanuts to the mash, but I was just joking because they tend to have a distinctive nutty peanut buttery flavor.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other notes, but it's just nice to keep nosing this thing.
Yep.
Do you feel like you're experiencing bourbon in its purest form?
By it being a barrel proof.
That's what the neck tag says.
The neck tag says that.
Uncut and straight from the barrel.
I feel like I'm experiencing a good feel here. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean, if we're getting that many notes and
Yeah.
it's that proof, I would think so. All right, first taste.
Oh,
Ooh,
got some
little
hug there.
The hug hit
burn.
bit you, and
It drank real smooth. It's warm.
it's very warm. It's the
It's
one
got
thing that I
nice-
get.
nice hug.
Did you get any extra notes there that you wouldn't get otherwise that we didn't talk about in the nose? Because I actually got a little bit more, which I don't often get with Elijah Craig. I got a little bit of some kind of fruit. I think dark fruit and a little citrus together, along with the stuff that we described on the palate. So
I got
the peanut.
I got a hint of lip tingle.
Lip tingle.
Is that how we? Is that a tasting note?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could get a lip tingle from
Yeah,
this.
I only experience it when I drink it. I can't. That's not a nose.
This is actually pretty sweet for being 122 proof. And when I say sweet, I don't mean like. Of course, I don't know what people imagine when they think they're tasting bourbon, that they're going to like taste something that tastes like candy. Of course not. Okay, if you're an inexperienced drinker, you're probably going to choke on this.
Right.
But not because it's bad whiskey. It's because it's high proof.
High proof.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's very pleasing. Very nice mouthfeel too. Color of the whiskey is good. It's almost like a brown or golden mahogany or something like that. Anything else? Michael, you're awfully silent over there.
No, I was just thinking about, if somebody wants this, you can probably get it, and you don't have to look real hard. It comes out and people kind of snatch it up, but then it kind of comes out. It comes out a little bit more, and you can usually find it. Like,
So what?
you just got to check around and you find it.
Yeah, it doesn't carry massive secondary value either.
No, it really doesn't.
So
Yeah.
what do these batch codes mean on it? This B519. What does that mean?
I think that's a bingo game.
You say bingo? Or
Bingo. You got to try to collect all of these.
Did you
say
get,
bingo?
And get bingo, like, in a row.
Yeah.
You get all these bottles. No, so the B is, so from what I understand, is this comes out 3 times a year, so that's like A, B, and C. Okay, and then the next number is the month of that one. So it's going to be B5. So this is going to be May, and then 19 is the year, right? 2019.
I believe so.
That's
Yeah.
So you couldn't possibly have an A519 because A wouldn't be, in the second.
And A is always 1.
Yeah.
So like A
I think-
119.
and I
so
think B's
A
always
January 119.
Okay. So I was going to say, is like A, B, C like seasons, or are they like specific months?
Well,
I guess
seasons
they're
and
jump months.
Yeah.
I think they use 1, 5, and 9, right?
I think so.
Isn't that-
Okay.
I think that's
it's-
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
1,
there
5, 9.
is there more of a sought after time of year?
I don't know. Recently, I saw one.
I would think that A would. I think just hearing, I would think B or C should be more sought after than A, because B and C get a full, or B especially over A gets a full winter season, and C would have the summer,
That's a good point.
and A's just there in the house, not doing much.
I don't know if there's really anything to that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know when they actually take it out of the barrel and all that stuff.
And because it's small batch, there could be stuff the youngest stuff in here is going to be 12 years old. There could be stuff older than that. And so there is some variability, and I know there's been some that have been favorites over others. So I'm not really sure if that would hold true, but that's a good point.
Like, I think I saw the B521. I think I saw that the other day somewhere.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, but the newest one.
Yeah, the newest one,
Right.
yeah.
So there should be one this month coming out probably.
Yeah.
But September is the month, by the way.
So would you guys pass, try, or buy on the Elijah Craig barrel proof? I'm gonna go first this week,
All
gentlemen.
right.
All
Very
right.
good.
I mean, how
Out
many
of
times
order.
has Steven ever gone first? That's
He
what-
hasn't. He always defers to us. I'm liking this. I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
I had this years ago, and I think it was early in my bourbon career, we'll call
Nice.
it. And it's a little. I didn't really enjoy it.
Okay.
This time around, I've liked it a lot. I like the nosing. It's got a lot of flavor, and 12 years for $65. It's a buy.
All right.
Yeah,
So there it is, the buy.
yeah, it's a buy.
So I would go with try. You all know that I'm not a high proof guy,
Yep.
but I also think you got to try it. Like, if you're going to go out and just have one pour, like a dinner or something like that, at a restaurant, high proof's the way to go with that. It's kind of one of those you just got to kind of experience, I think. I'm not going to sit around and drink it all the time, and you're certainly not going to do that have multiple of them at one time, probably at 120 something proof. But so I'm a try.
Oh, that's respectable. I like what you guys have said, and I'm oddly a buy. And when I say oddly a buy, it's because I'm actually hoarding the vertical of this stuff. And so I probably have maybe, I think 9 bottles of, Elijah Craig barrel proof at the house right now.
In the garage, of course.
In the garage. Of course, in the garage.
Or his closet.
Or it's under his dirty socks. in the
My wife's
closet. I
like,
don't know.
my wife's going, why do you have the same bottle? It's not the same. It's got different letters, honey. Like, what don't you understand?
His wife
You
said,
know what I mean?
what's this lump under the bed? And lift up the mattress, and there's more bourbon under there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
It's not a revolver. It's just barrel proof.
It's barrel
be,
proof.
These would be a good bottle to put under the mattress, though, because they're
Flat.
kind of flat.
Yeah, it's flat, and you can throw it, like, in the event of
Yeah.
you need, like, there's a home invader.
The
you just
top
toss it.
on the cork on top alone is probably hard enough to knock somebody out.
I was going to say, like, over here, I'm trying to swing it now. I got my hand on it. It looks pretty good. I can hold it well to swing it, if I
Yeah.
need to. But
Is that why you buy it? For
Yeah.
the intruders?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because there's so many people that are after my bourbon. I'm just joking, but no, I'm a buy because this probably is, I would say, like a really good representation of what a place like Heaven Hill does, and does well. And so, more often than not, when I come across people that are just getting into bourbon, or those who are very experienced, I always come across those folks that are like, I'm in a, Heaven Hill, Elijah Craig barrel proof phase, and I can't drink anything else. And I think that says something about this bourbon, meaning that like people are drawn to it and they love it. And so I'm definitely a buy, even though I don't have an open bottle of this at my own house right now. But I'm going to start probably exploring some of the bottles I do have.
Now, I will say, just looking on secondary, Facebook groups and stuff, people are specific about what they want. Like if they're looking to buy something, they want B519.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So clearly there are the
variation.
differences in the batches are distinct because people want certain ones. They're not going to just say, I'm looking for Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for B519 or whatever.
Yeah, and if you got one of the old bottles, forget about it. They're gonna charge you arm and a leg.
Oh yeah, those are really high.
Yeah, the old school looking ones that nobody sees anymore. They had like a black label on them. Yeah, those ones.
And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY. Also, let us know your thoughts on the bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.